Paul Vallis has already made a lot of changes. Laptop computers for high school students, regular testing, a standardized curriculum, an extended school day and school year. But in truth, the backbone of his plan is new teachers, young, idealistic, but inexperienced graduates of the nation's top colleges. He's really betting the farm that a steady stream of these young people can rebuild the New Orleans public schools.
So right now we're driving to Carver High School. It's in the upper 9th Ward. It's one of the lowest income areas of New Orleans.
Daniel Hoffman just graduated from Yale.
You know, I come from the suburbs. Everyone has a backyard, picket-lined fences, and the sense of having the ability to do anything. Here, it's just sort of a totally different place. I think if we want to create a better New Orleans, education is the way to do it.
This is how it's done, guys.
Also new to town is Princeton graduate Jaylon Erman. She's made a home with 3 other first-time teachers.
You can mix, it doesn't matter how you eat it, it'll taste the same.
The whole aura of the city is all about change, all about reform. I never really believed that there could be such an energy and excitement for change until I came here.
All right, big smile, 3, 1.
Zitzi Mariker is a graduate of the University of Chicago.
For me, it was this phenomenal opportunity to start fresh and to do something right and to show everyone else that you could fix an educational system.
Welcome back to day 2.
After 6 weeks of training elsewhere, the Teach for America Corps members arrived in New Orleans for more instruction.
It's this very high-stakes test that if they don't pass it, they're not going to move on. A lot is riding on this.
One clear message: it won't be easy.
They know you're going to fail, and you have to have that idealism to bounce back from the failure and learn from it. I think it's vital for me to succeed. In my ordinary life, if I fail, I'm the only one failing. If I fail in this classroom, all my kids fail. That's what motivates me to succeed.
It's that drive that Superintendent Paul Vallis is counting on.
These young people come with so much energy and so much dynamism, and they're so optimistic. They have such high expectations and high hopes, and I want to seize on that.
After just 8 weeks of training, it's time to teach.
Everyone have a seat. Start working on your worksheet. Everyone familiar with a leader? Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with a leader, thumbs down if you're not. I just want to have a sense of where we are. I need everyone to give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I had a lot of trouble keeping kids on task, keeping them focused. I need you to be working on this stuff. You're not gonna get it unless you keep on trying. I gotta be that much more on my game. I gotta get the kids up, moving around. I can't try and do one thing for more than a certain amount of time, or else the kids will not be able to focus.
So good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm going to say good afternoon. You respond, good afternoon, all right? Okay, with power, with energy. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, and hopefully eventually I can teach you how to say that in another language so we can spice it up a little from day to day, all right? First, we're going to explore the benefits of a college education. I have a little activity.
30 minutes into the class, students aren't looking left or right, and it's obvious that things are getting pretty tiring.
So what happens to average earnings as one's level of education increases? What happens? It increases, right?
I'm going to have to work harder on doing more engaging activities. If I'm going to talk for a bit, I have to balance it with activities where students are also talking amongst themselves.
Good morning. Grab a power up and get started on it. Grab a power up and get started on it. Good morning. And what I want to do now is take about 10 minutes to go over all of the expectations we have. We can't be late to class, so be here before the tardy bell rings, because when the bell rings, the door is shut and we're going to get started. And that's another one of our classroom expectations here, gentlemen, in the back, right? Please, please, please be respectful of each other, of me, and I think part of that is paying attention and looking up here while I'm speaking. One of the reasons why I'm having trouble getting control of my classroom is because this is the first time I've been in front of a large group of students.
Later on, I met with 7 of the new teachers. Would you characterize your first 2 days as successful?
I mean, they weren't easy. They were very difficult. Physically draining, emotionally draining, but I loved it.
I have not had as much success as I'd like to have in the first 2 days. When I talk to them, when I'm in the classroom, I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I doing?
I told my kids today when going over the rules, I don't like being a disciplinarian, but if I have to, I will. And I'm waiting internally in my mind, when can I start being nice? Because I barely smile.
I'm there to help them, but like I can't engage them. They don't want to be engaged.
I'm beginning to learn that a lot of these so-called problem behaviors will go away as long as they're engaged and interested.
Make sure you put down the facts first, though. Who is
The struggling rookies can take heart from this man, Harvard graduate Coleston Morgan.
Everybody knows who this guy is. George Bush. Who is he?
Our president. Our President Barack Obama.
Hold on. You said he's not our president. Barack's our president. Is Barack president?
Beginning his second year in Teach for America, Morgan says experience, momentum, and a connection with students seem to be paying off.
I passed that sort of testing phase where you have to sort of build relationships with the students. I think they know what I'm in here for, and that I'm here for them.
But even with his success, Morgan is skeptical of Alice's reliance on inexperienced teachers.
I don't think the answer is constantly bringing in 22-year-olds who are sort of starting at the very beginning of the learning curve. And unfortunately, too many of us, by the time we actually get it right, are on our way back out the door to something else.
Morgan's criticism is shared by others in the education field.
The rap against Teach for America is that you guys can spend 2 years and put it on your resume and go to some fancy law school.
I've heard it called Teach for a while instead of Teach for America. Even if it is 2 years, we're still, at our age, I think we're doing the most we can to affect the most lives.
This is what I'm here for. Like, I don't need to go home to a family. For these 2 years, these kids are all that I'm focused on.
Their boss believes that this dedication is bound to pay off.
I expect double-digit growth this year. Now, I'll go out on a limb now and say that I expect big gains both in overall test scores and in graduation rates. I expect it. Hopefully it'll be double digits starting with a 2 or a 3.
Paul Vallis has a lot riding on the results. With this likely to be his last year in New Orleans, they will be an important measure of his success.